This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of September 28th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. Governor Eric Holcomb on Tuesday signed a bill that creates a regulatory framework for companies to store captured carbon dioxide underground in Indiana. Energy Systems Network CEO Paul Mitchell says the law could make Northwest Indiana one of the largest hubs for carbon sequestration and hydrogen production in the country.
Indiana has some underground geology. They're called saline aquifers that are robust and really are ideal for carbon capture and sequestration. There's some in the northern part of the state, but there's other pockets of the state where we know these formations exist.
With the new law, companies could send captured carbon emissions to the underground caverns via pipelines to be stored. Holcomb and Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers are headed to Europe this weekend to explore business development opportunities with several foreign companies that already have a presence in Indiana. They will travel to Germany and Switzerland to meet with life sciences firms to discuss further investment in Indiana's medical device ecosystem. International shipping company DHL has cut the ribbon on its new DHL Express Service Center in Indianapolis. The company has invested nearly $8 million to relocate to the facility on the city's east side that is nearly double the size of its previous location. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
What are leading HR teams doing to promote diversity and inclusion? Learn more about innovative programs that attract and retain diverse talent at IBJ's HR Impact Awards. Diversity and inclusion is just one of the 4 categories we'll be exploring at this inaugural event. Join us to hear from leaders in the HR industry to inspire new ideas for your company. Save your seat by October the 5th at ibj.com/events.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Big Wigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
Should Indiana legalize internet casino gaming, better known as iGaming, its introduction would be a relatively smooth process, bringing hundreds of millions in tax revenue. Here's Wes Mills.
That's according to a 103-page Indiana Gaming Commission report released Tuesday, which says Indiana already broke the digital gaming barrier 3 years ago when it introduced online sports betting. The study says Indiana stands to earn between $341 million and $943 million in taxes off iGaming over 3 years, depending on the rate adopted, according to consultant Spectrum Gaming Group, which conducted the study on the state's behalf. There is some concern, though, that authorizing iGaming could negatively impact revenues at existing Indiana casinos. The state earned $700 million in taxes off its 12 casinos in the most recent fiscal year, according to another Indiana Gaming Commission annual report released earlier this month. The new report says, based on data from the 6 states who've already legalized it, it's unlikely to affect casino revenues. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Parkview Health in Fort Wayne has settled a nearly $3 million lawsuit with the state over alleged Medicaid overbilling, an allegation the healthcare system denies. Attorney General Todd Rokita's office says Parkview submitted improper medical codes for certain blood clotting tests during a 4-year period. The settlement says the codes selected for the tests resulted in substantially higher reimbursement to Parkview for each submitted claim. Parkview says the medical claims are related to a complex area of Medicaid billing and denies it knowingly engaged in wrongdoing. The health system says it has adjusted its billing practices to align with the state's recommendation as part of the settlement. The St. Joseph County Council has given the green light for a potential $2.4 billion electric vehicle battery manufacturing facility in New Carlisle. The council on Tuesday night unanimously approved tax incentives and a development agreement for Ultium Cells plans for the 2.5 million square foot facility, which could bring 1,600 jobs to the area. South Bend Regional Chamber CEO Jeff Ray says the project would have a massive impact on the region.
Once they're up at full production, we would anticipate about a $650 million annual annual economic impact from just the jobs that are created here. And the annual employment will support about 2,800 jobs here in our community.
The 656-acre site inside the Indiana Enterprise Center is one of several being considered by Ultium, which is expected to make a final decision on the location of the plant over the next several weeks. Additionally, Matt Saltanovitz, Vice President of Domestic Business Expansions for the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, says the state has approved incentives for the project, though specific details are not yet being released. Fox 59 morning anchor Angela Ganote is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.